Hello everyone, it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Lisa Marie Presley. I'll be speaking on her personality traits as well as her characteristic traits. I'll also be speaking on how her chart talks about her life and a lot of the success that she has gone through. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily, so you can become a part of the family. Please also make sure you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you're sharing this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who loves Lisa or who really loves my natal chart analysis. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. Lisa Marie Presley was born on February 1st, 1968, so this qualifies her to be an Aquarius. So Aquarius is not the best placement to have for a sun placement, but it's a very interesting one. The sun usually has a lot to do with your father, and we do know that her father passed away at a very young age, so we know that that did make a lot of things difficult for her in her life in regards to relationships or things happening to her because of the absence of her father. So that's something that really has affected her in the long run. But Aquarius tend to be very innovative people, and she's someone who is very innovative, very creative, very humanitarian-like. She had a very humanitarian-like manner. She would give back to the community, and she's someone who had a very great heart regardless of her life. Up next would be her moon in Pisces. So with this placement, it showed a lot of how she always had her heart on her sleeve to a certain extent. If you looked at her life, she was the type of person who would try to save people from things. She thought she can fix them, she can help them, and that's something that really, in a way, didn't really benefit her in the long run because she would take care of everyone else and not herself. And she really did have a great heart. She would literally put her sleeve on her arm, her heart on her sleeve, and that's something that, in a way, was very heartbreaking because she wasn't able to take care of herself as she should have or put herself first. But it also made her a sensitive person, so things that happened to her in her life really affected her and really gave her a hard time. So this really describes her moon placement. Her Mercury in Pisces really showed her creativity. She showed how she was able to articulate her words and was able to do a lot of things that were very interesting and great in life. She also was the type of person who was able to feel other people's energies. By having her Mercury in Pisces, she was able to understand what other people were feeling, and sometimes being empathetic like she was, it can be very difficult and hard because you're feeling everyone's energies and it can take a toll on her or take a toll on anyone with Mercury in Pisces. But people with this placement tend to be lovely people, even though it can be a hard placement as well in regards to articulating how you feel. But if you usually have a Pisces sun and a Pisces Mercury, it can work in your favor. And she had the Aquarius sun, so that really helped her a lot. So that explains her artistic side of her creating music and things like that as well. Up next would be her Venus in Capricorn. So she is someone who loves to really take care of her partners. And if you looked at her partner's histories, a lot of them tend to be earth signs. I think one of them, Nicolas Cage, was a Capricorn. So she was attracted to a lot of earth signs in regards to her relationship. That's something that is very common, especially with the Venus, if it's congruent or conjoint to someone's sun. you guys have some sort of connection. And with this placement, she wants to take care of her partner, wants him to be okay. She's not the type of person who's like the lovey-dovey type of partner, but she's the type of partner who really wants to be there for her partner, will help them in the physical way in regards to fixing things, in regards to giving them gifts. That's the type of way she loves. She's not more like that emotional, lovey-dovey type of person. So this explains her relationships. Up next would be her Mars in Pisces. So this gives her her third Pisces placement. So she was really a Pisces stellium. She had a lot of Pisces energy in her. And this was seen through a lot of her work, a lot of her niceness, and a lot of her having her heart on her sleeve. Her having Mars in Pisces gives her a little calculative way in regards to accomplishing her dreams. So Pisces, they have an intuitive type of nature. So in the Mars section, they will act based off of intuition, based off of something being great, based off of something that makes sense. It really gets them emotional and makes them want to work. So that's something that gives them their drive, is helping people, being able to understand what they're going through, being able to connect with something. That's what gives them a drive in order for them to accomplish their dreams. Up next would be her Jupiter in Virgo. And this is a interesting placement because it's not the best placement to have Jupiter in. So in a way, it can show her difficulties in regards to not only luck, but in regards to her marriages, because there is a way in astrology that shows Jupiter in regards to your husband, in regards to women. So if you have it in Virgo, Capricorn, and Gemini, they're just not the best placements for a husband, but that's just astrology. You can look at your houses. So she probably didn't have the best of luck when it came to marriages, and it really didn't benefit her in a way, but she did keep a close relationship with her partners after their relationship, from her first husband, who she had her children with, and as well as Michael Jackson. So in a way, it balanced out. Up next would be her Saturn in Aries. So Saturn is the placement in regards to showing you what you lack, or showing you what you may have trouble dealing with in life. So having this placement, she might have tended to be someone who would just act on impulse sometimes, and act on just doing things without thinking first. Or she might have been someone who just felt a lot of energy, and she would use that energy to do good things for herself. So in a way, it's beneficial because she's able to just be positive and be able to understand what she needs to do in life. But in a way, she does need to realize that it's important for her to go through decisions and make sure that it's the best decision for her. And one of these examples are in regards to her marriages, because she would get a divorce and get married a few days later. Up next would be her Uranus in Virgo, and with this placement, she's someone who is very intelligent, and she's always trying her best to get the best out of every situation that she's in. This is something that really changes her world in regards to ideas, and transform different types of ways of thinking intelligently. This makes sense because Virgo is a mutable sign, so thinking differently or changing their mind on topics is very important. They have a great intuition, and they're aware of assessing situations and move ahead on the right direction. This really benefits her because she was able to do the best that she was able to do for her life. In regards to her children's life, she would assess the situation and know that it's not the best for her, so she would continue on with her life and do the best that she could. So I believe this really describes her in the best way as well. Next up would be her Neptune in Scorpio, and with this placement, she's someone who tends to be intense, mysterious, and magnetic. Even though she was the daughter of Elvis Presley, she was very mysterious in a way. The only way people would really get to know her is if she would really do an interview, or if she was married to somebody who was prominent. then she would have to do interviews with them, and then they would talk. But she was always in the talks because she's Elvis Presley's daughter, but she was someone who people really didn't know too much about unless her business was put out in the news. But she had an intense type of personality, and people who met her said that she was just very interesting, and she was able to just be who she was regardless of what went around her or who she was as a person. So this really does describe her in the Neptune way. Up next would be her Pluto in Virgo. So she's someone who likes to help people. And this is something that is very common with Pluto and Virgo people. They tend to be the types of people who are always willing to help people. They always have the practical care necessary to improve anyone's status. This is something that Lisa Marie Presley would do a lot because she was born between 1957 and 1972, and this makes her a part of Generation X. She was the type of person when she saw someone in need, she always felt like she needed to help them or she needed to save them. And that's something that was her downfall in a way, but at the same time, it brought her a lot of happiness because I'm thinking to myself, maybe she wanted other people to help her, but she never got that. So she tried her best to be who she was and tried her best to give people what she wanted in return in a way. Up next would be her North Node in Aries. So with this placement, her journey on this earth was for her to be very independent, very self-aware, very trusting in her impulses, very courageous, very self-interest-like, having a lot of moderation in giving and self-nurturance. This is something that was her thing of her lifetime. And this is something that she needed to be as well, be the bold and assertive initiator, which she was at times, use her energy and courage to inspire change. She was that as well, identify the warrior within, assert her self-will to overcome challenges, take risk and not be afraid to speak her mind, do not be concerned with what others think or want, and follow the path of her own desire. And she did that as well. Up next would be her Chiron in Pisces. And if you look at Lisa Marie Presley's life, you would see that this would most definitely be her Chiron. She has been hurt so much throughout her life, and a lot of things really did not go the way it should have for her. And she has the wound of not really trusting people. And if you look at her story, you would see instances in where she was not able to trust adult figures around her or even her partner around her in general or around her children. That's something that she has always had the wound of, not being able to trust people. But she was a compassionate healer who enters the world of humans with genuine compassion, even though she wasn't able to heal that wound sometimes because she would use forces that weren't the best for her to heal that wound, but she was able to heal others with her loving compassion and humanitarianism. Up next would be her ascendant in Leo. So with this placement, she's someone who loves to take control of situations, especially social ones. She has a very charismatic personality that attracts people and wins her special attention and admiration. She's someone who has a larger-than-life attitude, and she's someone who lives her life to the fullest. And she really did live her life to the fullest. She was able to live that through the opportunities she had in life. She's also someone who's very magnetic and attracts attention. She's self-aware of her effect on others. She's someone who's very confident, and she's someone who will always speak her mind. And if you watched her in interviews, she was always honest and would always speak her mind regardless of what other people thought or said, and she was just straightforward in regards to that. She's someone who loves to do things that really help others as well. Last but not least would have been her midheaven in Aries, and this is actually a great place to have your midheaven. So the top three most successful midheavens are Capricorn midheaven, Aries midheaven, and Leo midheaven. She was someone who was happier working for themselves or owning her own business and having her own boss. In a way, she was able to be set up this way because her father was Elvis Presley, and she was able to inherit a lot of things that her dad gave her, which was very sweet of him to do. He gave everything to his only child, and that's the sweetest thing. She was able to do this because she had all the possibilities. She's someone who has the persona of just having a lot of self-starting behavior. She's someone who's very confident in herself in regards to her persona. She's very creative, energetic, and fresh. She loves giving her opinions. She loves taking the lead, and she loves brainstorming. And in her career, you can really see this a lot in her. So this really did explain her career. That's all I have for you, lovelies, today in regards to Lisa Marie Presley's natal chart. Please let me know down below what your favorite song of hers was, or her favorite album of hers. And please also let me know down below in the comments section who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell, as well as that like button, and please make sure you share this video with everyone you know. And if you have not yet followed me on all of my social media accounts, please make sure you are doing that as well. Please make sure you're following me from Pinterest down to TikTok. And please make sure you guys continue to support my Etsy store. And I thank you guys all for your support and the great reviews, as well as my PayPal, and as well as my podcast. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.